plan going into 2020 and 2021
Correct.
of assembling amounts of money to the 550,000 that would be needed for what you're looking for. You know, when you were talking before about a ladder truck, and we have one ladder truck currently right now at Mount Hope.
Correct.
We don't normally use it. From what I understand, there's not any training that's on that truck for the unit. In most cases, we have a ladder truck either from Dover or from Picatinny.
Actually, the truck was out of service with the ladder last year, but they do every other Sunday training on that.
I've been there for that training. It seems to come up empty for those individuals to be trained to be able to use that.
And we also cross-trained with Birchwood. I was involved with that last year. Birchwood Fire Department with the rescue is going to respond with that truck because Mount Hope is the lightest membership and they're hurting. So what we decided to do is roll the rescue with the ladder. They do go hand in hand in our fire call, and those members are cross-trained to operate that ladder.
Okay.
Actually, the night at the house
fire,
fire.
It's not in the budget now, but it's
been
questioned. I mean, when we went through our inspection, and then there was some follow-up questions I had with some of that, and Picatinny and Dover being really the mutual aid that seems to be the first ones there before our truck even goes out of the gate.
Correct.
Just wondering, you know, if we...
Well, some of those issues were that the truck was out of service for quite a bit last year with something with the ladder, so I know that. So that was one issue. I know we needed to take a person off of Rockaway 80 parking deck, and the truck actually was out of service, getting something done with the pump. So I called in Rockaway Borough and Wharton because the person had a leg injury. So I figured we may need the bucket to get him down. So that's why it's good to have a bucket or a stick. But anyway, going back to that they are training. I believe every other Sunday, not mostly in the winter, but more in the summertime. They go out and the Birchwood Firehouse cross trains with Mount Hope.
Okay. Council Vice President Abrahamson or Councilman Genia, do you guys have any questions?
No. No, none.
Anybody else? No? On this side? No? Gentlemen? I think we're good.
All right, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, and again, if there's any questions in relation to the memos that we get, we'll reach out to you tomorrow sometime. Thank you. Do you want to hit Public Works? You want to do another quick one?
Oh, I was just reading.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't care.
You want to follow through?
Yeah.
Okay. Public Works. Mr. Garabrandt, Mr. Knopf, Mr. Swanton, thank you.
Good evening.
Director to page
84. And gentlemen, if you could, I hate to sound repetitive, you can talk in the microphones.
Yeah.
You can grab all of them over there. It's just difficult for those on the phone to hear you. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Go ahead, Mr. Knopf.
As you know, there's quite a few segments to the road division. So we'll start off at account number 0126290. All in all, we are asking for about another 4,000 over from last year.
Which is great, by the way.
What was that?
Which is great, by the way.
Thank you. Did you want me to go through each one individually? If you have questions till later?
You know what, Mr. Knopf, I mean, if you want to make it comfortable for you for your presentation, I'm just going to let you do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And then any questions that the council has, then they can go whichever line that it is. It would kind of like make things a little bit more smoother and expedite it as well.
Absolutely. Perfect. And then we'll jump ahead over to snow and ice removal, 0126295. We're $800 over from 2018.
Can you just tell me what page you're on?
He doesn't know.
88.
Yeah, we don't have the
Mike
book.
has
Yeah, we don't have page numbers. I just have I'm looking at
Oh,
the account
okay.
numbers.
You know what, gentlemen, I'm sorry.
88. 88.
Thank you. And the line item on that, Mr. Knopf?
This is snow and ice removal.
The total, I think, it's just gone.
The overall, we're 800 over of what we were asking for from the previous year of 380,000. We're now at 380,800.
Great.
If you want to go over to traffic maintenance,
Account 060, salt accounts, you're asking for $300,000. You can see that we spent 211, 282, and 302 in previous 3 years. And, I'm sorry, 244
244.
in the previous 3 years. And the salt in 2019 is going down 10%. The tonnage is going down 10%. So wouldn't a more realistic figure be about $270,000?
Mr. Knopf, for me, I mean, I can only go on plowable storms
yeah,
for what I would do. You
Yeah,
guys do
I
above and
mean,
beyond that with salting and everything
that
else.
is correct. I mean, if you factor in this year,
Last year we
had
had 14 plowable storms, the year before that we had 12.
this year, we're up to 20 events that we are
20,
at
all right.
at total. That is including ice storms, small snow events that eat up a lot of salt,
Sure.
the ice storms in general, and the 1 to 2 to 4 inch snowstorms are generally your storms that burn up the most cutting edges and the most salt.
Have you calculated what you've used so far,
Yeah.
this year to date versus what you had last year?
This year to date, what we have used,
Mr. Simon, is this the direction you're kind of going in?
yeah, if you just bear
Okay.
with me real quick.
Yeah.
This year to date, for the season of 2018 to 2019, we've used 4,909 tons total of salt.
From 18 to 19?
Correct.
What
which
was
is-
17 to 18?
I don't have that total right now.
Okay.
But the price tag right now, as we speak, is $264,000.
That you've used?
Correct. So, and winter's not over yet.
Is it possible for tomorrow that you could give us the amount what you used from 17 to 18?
Absolutely.
Great.
Well, aren't these numbers here correct? Expended? 2017 was 282,094?
There's no tonnage that's in here, though.
Well, isn't that how they calculate the price, by tonnage?
Well, I mean, we don't know what the tonnage is to see what the price is from 2017 to 18.
Well, it dropped 10% on the tonnage.
Yes.
But also got to realize, if you take a look, I hear you saying it dropped 10%, but also realize it does expire in October, so it could go up. So we have to plan for the whole, we don't know where it's going to be. It could go back up to the 59.75, it always gets bid out to the co-ops, so it's hard to say it went down 10%, because we don't know. It could go back up.
The price of salt fluctuates year by year through
Yeah,
all
it
cost
fluctuates,
prices.
we don't know.
Right.
We have to budget for, for the people, make sure we have enough salt and everything in there, instead of people not having, we don't have enough money for salt, and then we get hamstrung, and we have to pay outrageous prices.
I understand.
Okay.
But in 4 years, it's gone down substantially.
We don't know. It could go up. We don't know how things are going to fluctuate. I'm hoping it goes down. My fingers crossed, but we don't know.
But for this
Council
year, it's
President.
10% less than those.
Okay.
Can I have
They
a
haven't
question?
gone out for bid for the prices yet for this year.
Council President, can I
Go
ask a
ahead, I'm
question?
sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. So just real quick on, page 85 or whatever, when we're talking about wages, right? So last year, you had a budget of 1.2 million and 230,000 in overtime, and you only spent,
I don't mean to interrupt you. Are we done with the snow then? The snow and ice removal? That's okay, because we are on 88 and you want to go back to 85 now?
yeah, I didn't realize we were gonna go through.
That's okay, I'm sorry. I was just trying to make it comfortable for them.
Yep, sorry about that. Just in salaries, so it looks like you only expended 1.1 million and only 170 in overtime. Were you just short-staffed? You didn't have positions filled throughout the year, or, you know, because now the request for next year is kind of going back to what your approved amount was last year, and it seemed like you expended significantly less last year.
I believe the overtime last year, as far as snow and ice, we did have fewer,
Okay,
call-outs, correct,
okay.
as far as overtime.
And you're looking to fill one laborer position and a clerk typist position?
We're looking to fill, we currently, we have a employee that has the potential to retire this year. And we are looking to increase our staff by one additional person.
It's not that guy sitting next to you, is it?
A clerk type,
I'm sorry.
you're looking for a clerk typist as well?
There's no funding in there.
No,
Oh, I
No,
see.
it's not.
I see. So it's, I got you.
And we're still on 85, right? And you know, I've asked this before. We had a retiree of 2018, mid of 2018, and I kept asking about an HEO. Mrs. Seeger, can you give me the status on that? We had testing.
Yes, Michael's, I can't tell.
Can't say
Can't
names.
tell you names, but there was someone appointed to that position.
Okay. When was that appointment, do you know?
It happened in December, but it probably will go through in this budget.
Okay, the appointment was, are they getting paid for that position now of that level?
I don't know off the top of my head. It may become effective in January, this budget, his rate. I don't know that. Do you know that?
No, I would only know it if it came from Mike, so no. If this is just a recommendation, it's not.
Yeah, the recommendation after all the testing that the department put through, I think 6 people. Al, did you
correct.
test?
Yeah, we tested 6 people.
I got a letter at December 13th after the budget was closed last year, so he wouldn't get that raise till this year, probably.
Okay. And then we had one that wasn't able to test, and that person confirmed they weren't going to test, right? There was no issues with that either?
Correct.
Okay. So, we have somebody going in that position then to fill it, so it's not gonna be a vacant position.
Yes,
Correct.
correct.
Go ahead.
Question.
Councilman Wimmer.
Yes, sub-account 026, equipment maintenance, I see a big disparity between what was requested and what the administration recommended. I guess when you look at the explanation,
126.
it talks about repairs to all DPW heavy equipment, including sweeper and smaller mechanical devices. I guess just questioned why the disparity between what you requested and what the administration has recommended.
Which number? I'm sorry.
026?
026.
Yep,
Equipment maintenance?
page 85, let's see.
Because of the amount of money he spent overall, 34 last year, 22 the year before, and then 34. So, and Mr. Shear thought that would be a fair amount.
Mr. Sheard,
I mean, yeah, Mr. Shear's the head of the DPW.
right, a fair amount would be the 32 and not the 55?
Yes.
Okay,
Al, right?
Correct.
okay.
Mr. Jackson, is there something that you had? I'm sorry.
No,
On 25 and 26, Mr. Noth, and as Mrs. Siegert said, I believe under our code and policy procedure, our superintendent of our DPW is the one that is responsible for our vehicles and equipment. Is that correct?
Who?
Mr. Sheard.
Bobby's the head of the department, but the fleet manager is Mr. Knopf.
But isn't it an ordinance that the superintendent, or the director is the responsible for the, vehicles and equipment?
It's, duties are, split up, and it's actually Mr. Noth,
Okay.
correct, Al?
Yes, that is correct.
And, we went through this budget very diligently, the departments and I, to keep the rate as low as we did while we're having a decrease this year. And I think, Mr. Kelly, you were at those meetings with me, and if I saw the averages were not being spent, I lowered them as long as they can,
You're talking about our meetings in November?
yes,
Yeah, and a lot's taken place from them to now, right?
right.
Yeah, okay, so what we knew then could be different now.
Not really.
And Mr. Noth, you recently purchased a compactor?
Yes, we
And-
purchased a compactor from the town of Dover, used piece of equipment.
Mr. Spring and Mr. Travisano did a great thing for you, and maybe you can just tell the council what you got, what it came with, and the value of what you saved.
Okay, so what we had purchased from the township of Dover is a 2004 International tandem axle recycling compactor, a rear loading garbage truck essentially. We had purchased it from the town of Dover for $2,200. We approximately put in another $8,700 in maintenance up so far for it. The equivalent used vehicle that I could find at that time was the purchase price of between $46,000 to $48,000. And then when you compare that to a brand-new truck of the same size and body, you're looking at a truck of about $226,000.
And did you mention how much you paid for it?
$2,200.
And it had that just in new tires around the whole entire thing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah, I mean, it was a roller.
It was something that was done at auction, and because of us being a municipal government, we can bypass that auction process and be able to make a deal. And Dover was very assisting in there with Mr. Spring, that's in the Department of Works there. They had some time on it. They had an issue that they thought that they had. We'll take advantage of that situation. So it worked out really well with them. Now the other thing is that some of the trucks that are in need of matching, like we were talking about our fleet. We have a green truck, white bed.
Yeah.
We're gonna, what's in 05 and I'm sorry, 25 and 26, something that would be addressing those types of,
Yes, we would be figuring out one paint code for those vehicles, yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Whether it being white or green.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, we had some projects that we tried to complete, specifically 605.
Yes.
How's the result of that?
It is on the road. We have been using it the last 3 storms to put material down, salt, during the storms. We have cannibalized parts from older vehicles and essentially, out of many, made one useful mason dump out of that.
And this is the one we changed the motor, the transmission, different body,
That is correct. Yes.
bad transmission afterwards, put another one inside there, took the
Yes.
bed off, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Do you have an amount that we actually invested into that
We put
time?
12,000. That's time and that's labor and parts. $12,500 into that vehicle.
And the one that we were gonna remove off the road that we actually saved, I saw it working throughout the storms, truck 636,
Yes,
how's that doing?
that's up and running.
And keeping that saves us from buying something else at the moment because it's still in use?
You're absolutely correct. Yeah, that is essentially once our new truck does come in, which the cabin chassis, I got an email. We're looking at around June. The cabin chassis should be in. So by the time it gets outfitted, you're probably looking around late August, September. That will be a reliable spare truck in case of something else breaks down, or in case of a larger storm, we can put another body in a larger truck to move higher amounts of snow.
Right. I don't have any more questions. Gentlemen, do you guys? Mrs. Smith? No? You wanna go back in, I'm sorry, Mr. Whitty?
Line 011, regular rate wages. Basically, 2016, 17, 18, we've averaged about 1.1 million. We're going up to about 1.2, so it's an increase of 89,000, which is about 8%. And it's the same number, if I'm looking correctly at the sheets, we still have the same number of people, right?
Microphone.
16 full-timers, 120.
He doesn't have a microphone, Jeniak. Mrs. Seeger, can you answer that?
It's the same as the other one. It's a 2-year retro you have to put in there. 2% of their salary, and then 2% of that salary after you get that salary.
4%.
Well, it's more, probably more than 4%. It's compounded.
Is there any other questions you have, Mr. Whitty?
No.
Mr. Dio?
Yeah, just a clarification. I see that Robert Sheeran is the Director of Public Works.
What page are you on?
Please don't use names, Mr. Deal. Use positions. Don't use a name, use a position.
You have to use position, not name.
But
Say director.
Director of Public Works.
Yes, he's the Director of Public Works. Yes.
Salary's 128,000.
Yes.
092 for 2019. And does that include the money that he's getting as the director for the
Fire?
department?
No, you have to add his salary from the Department of Fire, plus this would be his annual salary.
So this total is two amounts.
Together, yes. Add two amounts together. Yes.
That's it?
Council President,
Yes, go ahead, Councilman Jeniak.
the question just asked by the Financial Review Board member is yet another reason why it's important for members of the council and the public to be able to see the public record of the names associated with titles and salaries in the budget submitted to the council by the administration.
Can we address that like we originally agreed in the beginning of the meeting at the end? Councilman Jeniak?
Yes, I'm just simply stating that the question is just asked is yet another reason why that's important.
Yeah, we can address that moving forward. Is there any other, you want to continue?
Sure.
Mr. Moth, I'm sorry.
Okay, we left off on snow and ice. We are now on traffic maintenance. Traffic maintenance has stayed the same amount at 59,000.
You're on the department number 300?
Yes.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Page 91.
90 and 91. And 92.
There you go. Let's see what 92A is. That's what I wanted.
On 54, am I allowed?
The DOT traffic signal?
I have to wait, I have to get it cleared.
What's the matter?
I ask a question.
Do you have 92A?
No, just 92.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we got pages that we had printed, like I was missing some A's I thought that were for what I received today.
92A?
There's no 92A.
There is no 92A?
No.
Okay.
No,
You should.
no, it's
It's
before
one
this.
employee.
Are you looking at the salaries?
It's an operating expense sheet,
It's
not a
90A,
salary sheet.
90A.
Oh, 90, sorry.
90A. So we're at,
But we're on page 91.
yes.
Council President, we did receive 90A in the email that was sent to us.
Yeah, we're back on track. It was my error of looking at the pages here. Any questions on this page? It would be 91, yes, we're,
On 91, I have a question.
Mrs. Smith?
I just would notice on 054, the traffic signal, last year we spent no money.
Yeah, this is the NJDOT traffic signals on Mount Hope Ave, entrances 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
How the way that the DOT bills us is they wait till the end of the year. So I believe their billing starts in April, so it will be April 7th from 2017 until the following year, and then they bill us. So their billing is off of our billing.
So last year's billing would come out of 2018 budget?
Correct, yeah. So
Thank you.
we just received the bill
It was
December
12,000.
this year.
It was 12,000.
Thank you, I was just wondering why it was zero. Thank you.
One 166 line striping. Do you guys do your own line striping, or?
We do some in-house, but most of our line striping, the yellow lines, the dashed lines in the center of the road, the white markers, or the crosswalks and stuff like that, those are all out, depending who our vendor is. Through the co-ops, it's usually Denver Line Striping that does that, yeah.
Okay, Denver, okay.
And do you have a lot of striping that you're predicting? I mean, it's not a huge amount that you have here from last year. New roads that are getting paved that you can,
Yeah, some of the line striping does come out of the capital paving budget, yes.
any other questions down here? Over here? Councilman Jeniak, Council Vice President, any questions?
No.
Continue, Mr. Knopf.
Automotive maintenance.
Lisa, what page?
Sorry, hold on. No.
What's that?
We go right to after rounds. After traffic.
Microphone.
You should just. We're still trying to figure out the page number. 315, Department 315.
We go right to buildings and grounds, there's no auto.
Skip over buildings and grounds.
We're on page 99.
Right after shade tree.
99,
Thank you.
99 and 99A.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mr. Knopf.
We are we are recommending 101,500. It is approximately 8,000 over the 2018 budget.
Line 38, hardware and tools.
Yeah.
It's $15,000 compared to the year before.
That is correct.
Extra. Just a lot of new stuff. What's the
Well,
reason
we're
on
looking
that?
to purchase for our heavy diesel trucks, our dump trucks specifically, an engine analyzer, We're looking at a couple. One of them is a Snap-on. Another one is a company called like Texa that we're looking at right now. They are very pricey. But that would allow us to not farm out a majority of our work and to keep it in-house so that we can diagnose our trucks with our mechanics.
So by not farming it out, how much savings do you think there will be?
Well, I could tell you right now, our one roll-off 2 years ago cost us $10,000 in just repairs that we could have saved, and it was $6,000 in diagnostics itself.
All right, very good, thank you.
And the Snap-on is roughly between 14, 16 grand?
Around there, yes.
Have you ever looked
They
at?
are coming in with another version that hasn't been released yet.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for information.
And the new trucks that we have, do they give you any diagnostic equipment or materials?
Very, very slight. Right now, with the new truck that we have on order, I've built into the spec requirements to be able to diagnose the vehicles with Cummins hardware.